For all you listeners out there, this is 10 Questions with Famous People. You're in the air with your host, Katie, and I will be interviewing Hannibal Barca. Come on out, Hannibal.
Oh, sorry I fell there. Thanks for having me, Katie, on your show. It's hard for me to get around since I'm blind.
No problem, so let's get started. How did you become blind?
Well, that's a good question. How did I become blind? Well, one day while I was outside, I was bit in the eye by a bug. Later, that bug bite caused me to become blind.
Oh, what a tragedy. That must have had a huge impact on your life.
In a way, yes it did.
Okay, next question. How did it feel to win victory after victory?
The feeling cannot be put into words. To defeat city after city made our army become stronger. The stronger they got, the more we conquered.
So the stronger the better?
Yes.
Okay, next question. What was it like to walk across the Alps from Spain to Italy?
Well, it was definitely a challenge. However, like I stated, if there isn't a way, we'll make one. There were many obstacles, but we pushed through them, and we were determined.
So, Hannibal, crops were quite a major thing back then, right?
Yes, they were.
So did fights become harder when farmers burned their fields?
Yes, the fights became much harder once the farmers burned their fields. Once burning them, they salted the fields so the crops could not grow. Without crops growing and the fields burnt, it was almost impossible to live on them, which made it harder to attack.
Hannibal, how did you serve in the battle between the Romans and you?
Great question, Kate. Well, for 15 years I occupied much of Italy. After 15 years, a Roman counter-invasion of North Africa forced me to go to Carthage. In Carthage, I was defeated by Scorpio of Frankinus in the Battle of Zambia.
Okay, listeners, we're going to take a quick intermission. Don't change the channel. We'll be right back with our guest, Hannibal Barca. Hey, we're back with the famous Hannibal Barca. Can you believe the interview is half over already?
That was fast.
I agree. Well, let's not waste any time. When you were 9, you begged your father to take you on the campaign to Spain. But before he took you, he made you promise eternal hatred of Rome. How did that make you feel?
Well, I was just a kid and really wanted to go, so making that promise didn't really affect me. So it didn't have an impact on me then. However, as I grew up, I kept my promise to my father and hated Rome, causing wars against us.
I understand. How did it feel to defeat the combined armies in Rome?
We had killed over 20,000 Roman soldiers. This made me feel like I kept my promise of hatred towards Rome. So to answer your question, it made me feel good and proud.
Why did you change from an offensive to a defensive policy?
I didn't really have much of a choice on that one. My home government refused to send me adequate reinforcements, so I changed from offensive policy to a defensive policy.
Very interesting. Next question. At the end of each battle, did you take something from the dead Romans to prove you defeated them?
Yes, my brother Mago took rings from them. When he got the rings, he would bring them back to me in Carthage. We then later would show the Senate.
Okay, last question. Hannibal, if you don't mind me asking, how did you die?
Well, I went to Crete but returned to Asia Minor. At Libya, I was going to be turned over to the Romans, so instead of being taken, I drank poison and later died.
Well, there you go. That was 10 Questions with Famous People. Thank you, Hannibal, for coming out and answering questions with me.
Thank you for having me on your show. I had a great time.